saying, because there's no mic on there. It's just right here. So when you ask questions, just so you know, Jackie, if they ask questions, it's good to try to repeat the question or just answer it so that people who watch know what was asked. Otherwise, because that happened with the football ones, you can't hear the question and then they just answer. So, hi, I'm Amber. I think I know most of you here in the room, or you know me. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you for being here. I'm going to open us up in prayer, and then we're going to get started talking about all the cheer stuff for this season. So, all right. Lord, we just thank you so much for this time to get together. I thank you for your presence here in our Upwards program. I pray that you would just make this season rock, that it'd be awesome, that we can just share your love with the kids that are going to be here. And it's just going to be so cute and fun, and I'm so glad that we are able to do this. And I just pray that your hand would be continually in our program, and that would be what our focus is on you. I thank you for these ladies that were here, or are here, and for the ones that couldn't be here, just please be with them, keep them safe, allow them to still feel prepared by getting to watch the video and stuff. And just bless them. Thank you so much for their hearts to serve, to be a part of this ministry. And we just, again, lay this whole thing down for you. That's what we're doing it for. So we love you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So I'm so glad I got to be here. I know I sent out that email like, I'm going to be gone for a little bit, but we got back from camping, and it was fun. We got back, and I was like, I can make it. Woohoo! So that's good. I just wanted to go over some of the admin stuff. Have any of you watched through the video that I sent out at the beginning of this week? The admin portion? You did. Anyone else? Gold star right there. Woohoo! That's what I was figuring. Yeah, I was supposed to do that, but I didn't. So I'm sorry you're going to hear a little repeat, but you can totally answer some of the questions if other people have too, because you've listened to it. So some of the things, again, just thank you so much for your heart to be here. We can't have this ministry without you guys. So I so appreciate you being here. I hope some of you have at least been able to get onto Band and download that app and be able to watch Matt Kessie's video as well. He just wanted to thank you guys also for being a part of this ministry. So some of the things to go over for me is just the admin aspect is communication. So communication is huge to make this run smoothly. I'm going to apologize now for the amount of emails you get from me and how long and detailed they are. But when I have over 40 coaches and I'm trying to get all that information out, it's really important that you read through them so that you get the information, because otherwise I have 40 coaches asking me all the different questions that I already typed up the email and sent out, which I totally don't mind if you have questions. I love to help, but please read the emails. I try to highlight like red letters or underline things that are most important so it can like draw your attention, but I get it. There's a lot of information. So just help me out there a little bit and try to get through those emails for me when I do send them out. I had in the back there for you to sign in, check your information, make sure it's correct. For those that are here, try to match up with your assistants, which I don't see any that are here. Some people are missing, unfortunately, but we still wanted to run it, and they're going to get the video, and you guys will be able to touch base on phone or something and get together with your assistants. So communication with me, the best way is email. I've been sending out those emails, so feel free to email me there. I try to check it for sure at least once a night, if not throughout the day. I usually try to get back pretty quick if there's something that comes up. So go ahead and do that. Other people to contact is Jackie. So her email has gone out through some of it, and I will make sure that I send that out again when we send out the presentation and the video so that you have her contact information. She's kind of a extra for coaches. She'll help you guys with whatever you need, and we're working together here. So she's my cheer director, and I have a football director, and then I kind of help through all of it, doing the computer aspect of it, okay? And then another important piece for communication is the Band app. So I sent all of you a link to that. It's an app you download, and then you can be a part of our group. It's for 2021 flag football and cheer here at Calvary. And what's going to happen is there's going to be Matt Kessie and Cliff will be putting like football coaching ideas on there, and then Jackie and Kaylee here, this is Kaylee Brown, she's helping with the cheer coach stuff, might put on different ideas for you guys for practice or just shoot out information on there. It's just an easier way to get something quick out to everyone. It's kind of like a Facebook Messenger, but a separate app that you can just have just a group in. So really important that you guys get on there so that we can get that information out to you. Other communication is communication with your parents and your team. So all of you have gotten the My Upwards link. Last night when I checked, there were still about 5 that hadn't signed into it or created an account. So it's really important that you get on there. That allows you to be able to see your team, your roster, all of your resources, be able to send links to your teams. That will give them all the game times and all the practice times and all of that. You each have like your own website for your team that's a team page. So when you go into the My Upwards link, when you go under your team roster, you click on a child's name. Up at the top, kind of under their name, really small, will say team website, and that's where you can use to send out that website to your players. It's also, you can email, text your players through that app too, and be able to get that communication out to them, okay? Things to think about, like when you need a sub or different things, you want to utilize your assistants. First, head coaches, utilize your assistants. If you're going to be gone, talk to them, communicate with them, and then go to the parents. Send out emails to the parents, say, hey, we need a little extra help this night. Who's willing to help out? And see if you can get someone to. If you can't, let me know, and I will get you a sub, or maybe we can look at changing your night of practice if it would be easier just for that one time to be able to be helpful in that, okay? So we will definitely, I can work with you on that and make it happen. If you do ever change practice or cancel it or anything like that, let me know. So if I ever get emails from parents, I'm aware of what's going on also. If they're like, hey, my team isn't here and they showed up but you had moved it, then I can let them know, sort of thing. So logistics of the game, important things. So out here, if you are, well, first let's talk about your rosters I gave you. I'm sorry some of you don't have rosters because they were wrong because I printed them 2 weeks ago and I changed things last week. But then your game schedule. I'm going to try my best to explain this in a way that will make the most sense, and hopefully with your schedule in front of you will. So for football, I have 3 Monday teams, okay? One is a kindergarten through first, one is a second through third, and one is a fourth through sixth. Okay, so they're labeled A, B, and C. Okay, so my A and B are my younger age groups. They're on Monday nights. I only have one cheer team that's a Monday night that's a younger age group. They are Y1. So Y1 will be going to cheer for A1 and B1, but they will rotate on each game. So one game they'll cheer for A1, the next game they'll cheer for B1, the next game they'll cheer for A1, B1, and that's how it rotates through, okay? When you go to my C's, which is my 4th through 6th, I have a Monday, Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, but I only have a Monday, Thursday, Friday cheer team. So my Tuesday football team does not have a cheer team cheering for them, but my Monday, Thursday, Friday, you will follow your football team if you are that day. So my C1 is with my Z1 cheer team. My C1 football is with my Z1 football. How this will even out is there will always be, out of my 6 games on a Saturday, 2 of the games will have 2 cheer teams, and all of the other games will only have 1 cheer team at the game. Okay, so every game will have a cheer team. So it's important that if you are cheering for one of those ones, that it's just one cheer team, you are sharing the love. Okay, so I just want to make sure we have a cheer team at every game, that we're cheering the players on, we're showing encouragement, we're teaching the girls how to cheer and encourage and be a part of it. But I don't want my, C2 team to never have someone cheering for them, sort of thing. Like you're still cheering them on. And you're doing the ones like go upwards and catch the ball and all the different things for the different teams. So there might be times I haven't set up, Jack and I are going to, and probably Kaylee, sit down and look at where we're going to place the cheer teams on the fields. We haven't done that, but you will get a detailed map of that so that you know before the season starts. And we'll talk through kind of those ones where we only have one cheer team, whether it's at halftime we switch sides is what I'm thinking might happen, or different things like that to be able to kind of share the wealth with that, okay? I do have 2 Tuesday cheer teams for my younger age groups. You're the Y 2.1 and Y 2.2. That's how it works best for me to keep track of everything. You do have team names you'll see on there too, so you don't have to go by Y 2.1. You have fun little names there. Because I have 2 Tuesdays, you guys will see that I still rotated you between A2 and B2 because I have siblings on different ones, and I wanted to try to make sure some siblings got to cheer for their siblings, whether they were a second or third grade or a kindergarten through first. I hope some of that made sense in trying to get it all organized and help with the families, but that's what it looks like. On the actual schedule, you can see it doesn't tell you that. I had to write that in, so you're not going to know exactly, but I tried to explain it there so you know which teams you're following. So basically, Y1, when you go to a field, you'll see, okay, is A1 playing or B1 playing? And you'll know that it would be that one that you're cheering for, sort of thing. Okay? Questions on that? No? Okay. Easy, right? Makes sense. So, and then when it comes to the field, so this field here, I know I explained this kind of in an email, but this one closest to us by the sanctuary is field 1. Field 2 is the one back by the back baseball backstop is where that is field 2. All of your practices are back on field 2. You guys are sharing the field. So one team is on one side and one is closer to the baseball field, okay? And I explained that in the email. If you're on field 2.1, you are on the side closest to the fire lane. If you're on 2.2, you're on the side closest to the backstop. And that's kind of how you would split the field up to be able to do your practices, okay? Equipment. You guys aren't going to have any equipment to have to pull out for practices or anything like that. That's going to be football. But it would be I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the green trailer. I think that's got moved. It was the old soccer trailer, so if anyone coached soccer for me, that's what it would be. But I'll get that in an email to you when we're ready to know exactly where that's going to be. Basically, you just want to make sure your girls are going to need their pom-poms. So they're going to need their pom-poms for practice, and they're going to need them for games. So just reminding them to bring those, or if you wanted to, like with the football players, we encouraged, they have to have their flags to be able to play the game. What that's going to look like. Your girls, if they forgot their pom-poms, they could still do it with fists and not have pom-poms and be fine. But whether or not you as a coach wanted to collect all of them and be responsible to be bringing them, just have them labeled somehow, or if you want to make sure that the girls are responsible to bring those, that I can leave that up to you guys, okay? Let's see, games, what it's going to look like for lineup is we have our gazebo out here, or pergola, okay? We got a big blow-up tunnel, so that's going to be fun. We're going to put that on the far side of it. And then in the courtyard area here, I will have signs. I'll have field 1 and field 2, and probably a home visitor for each. And so when it's your game time, like let's say you have the 9 o'clock game, you need to be lined up behind where you are. So if you're on field 1, and then what team are you with? Is your team home team or visitor team? Okay, and you're going to be lined up with them. And what we're going to do for the announcements is whatever team you're cheering for, you guys are going to have your girls line up under the pergola, and they're going to be cheering for the boys or girls. We have a few girls playing flag football, running through the tunnel and the parent line. They're going to be cheering, woohoo, woohoo, as they get their names called. And then your team will get their names called to then get to file in and run through the tunnel and the parent line. And then the next cheer team will come up, cheer for their football team that runs through, then they will be called to go through. All of you will then go to the field that you're going to be on, and it's important that the cheer teams and the football teams, everyone comes together in the center of the field and someone leads prayer. It's probably going to be our refs, it might be one of the coaches, but that needs to happen, and having every coach know that needs to happen is important so that we all can help remind each other, like, this is why we're here, we want to keep the focus here, let's all come together, open up in prayer, then start the game, okay? And then after the game, it's important that when the kids are getting their snacks or different things that you bring them together and do a small devotional. This is a good time where you can either review the devotional that you've done during the week before, say, how's it going? I know for those that have like a Friday practice, that's kind of hard. Like Friday night you did that, Saturday morning you're like, okay, how'd you implement it into your life? You slept. So it might be that you do it further out. So how do I explain this? So like if Friday you do a devotional, that Saturday, the first Saturday you would kind of come up with your own. The following Saturday you would talk about last Friday's devotional, not the new devotional on Friday sort of thing. However you want to do it, just making sure you're bringing that focus back to the Lord. That is what this is about, okay? We want the kids to have fun. We want them to get athletic, do all the things, learn about encouragement, but our focus really is we want to bring it back to Jesus, right? And being able to teach them about that. And so just making sure that you bring them together and do that. You can share a verse that the Lord's put on your heart throughout the week, whatever it is devotional-wise you want to do, and then end in prayer with them also, sending them off until you see them the following practice. Sizing of your teams. So you should each have between, like, I think I have some teams that have 9 and some that have up to 11. There might be a few that I might have not gone over 10. I feel like one of my older ones might have had 11. So just know that's kind of you have 11? Yeah. Yep. So I did have some that went up a little bit over 11, but that's kind of the range is 9 to 11 cheer per team. So that should be really good. When it comes to cheering, Jackie and Kaylee, I'm going to let them go over kind of when you're going to be cheering, what that's going to look like, things like that when you're doing the cheers. But then they're also going to let you know it's going to be sideline cheer for the season, and then the very last game is where the girls are going to get to do one halftime dance so that you have the whole season, the 7 weeks to work on that dance, and then they'll get to perform at halftime. There will only be, like I said, 2 games on that Saturday where there are 2 cheer teams, and so all the other ones, there's only 1 cheer team. So you'll just be the one halftime show, but those ones that have 2 will just have to make sure that both cheer teams get to go during that halftime to be able to perform their dance. And it'll be cute and fun for them to get to do that. So know that there will be some dancing. It will just be that one last one so that the girls have time to practice it. Uniforms. So I've already put in the league order. I'm hoping that means I should see it by the end of this week or the beginning of next week. So I should have it all ready to be able to get to you guys before your first practice is my goal. If not, you will definitely have it for the second practice to be able to give out because you have the game, that following one, so we want to have all of that done. But I'd like it to be able to get out the first practice, so if there are any sizing issues, they can be addressed right away. I'm hoping there isn't many, simply because we had the evaluations, people could size, do different things, but there's usually always a couple, so just try to get those out. They come different than what, if you're familiar with Upwards, they've changed their uniform distributor, and so what that means is they're going to not be in that wonderful box where you just take the box and hand it to the child. So I'm going to see what they look like when they get here. They get little mesh bags in the coach things, and then they put, I guess, the team in a big, like saran wrapped group. So you have all of the uniforms in there. So I'm going to see if it's easier for me to just hand you, here's all of your jerseys, here's all of your pom-poms, here's all of your things, and for you to kind of assemble those bags, or if it's easier for me to, I just don't want jerseys lost. I don't want things lost by me trying to do all, 200 players instead of just giving it to the individual coaches. So I'm not sure exactly what that'll look like since it's new this year, but I will communicate it to you guys and try to make it as easy as possible, okay? Important dates. So coming up, we have one important thing is everyone should have contacted all of their players or participants by now. If you haven't, or if you've tried to contact some and you haven't physically spoken to them, let me know today, at the end or something, just so that I'm aware if I start getting emails, or if there's someone that you can't get a hold of, then I need to try a different way and see if I can, so that we get their contact information right, because it means something in your system is not right, basically. Or they're going to end up contacting me, and they're going to be like, why haven't I got contacted? And I can say, well, this is the information we have. What needs changed, sort of thing, because we had that in soccer a little bit if they put in the wrong information on accident. September 4th is when your ministry safe training is due. So if you had to do a background check this year with me and you got a ministry safe link, you had to go through that, and that needs to be done by September 4th. Then we have the season starts September 13th. That's your first practice week. And then first game is on the 25th. And then your team pictures will be on the 2nd. I will get that schedule to you. It'll either be I'll probably get it to you your first game, so that way you guys can pass it out at the first game. So then the parents have it with all the information about pictures, the schedule, so they know for the following game what time they have to be there. Otherwise, I'll get it to you during the practice the week before. I'll communicate that to you when you get it. Just know the photographer will have extra printouts at the photos. It's just nice if parents could bring them filled out. It makes it run a lot smoother, but I get lots of questions when it comes to that. Oh no, my parents have lost their paper, or parents emailing me and worried, so you can tell them, please fill this out, bring it filled out. If something happens to it, don't worry, we'll have extras there, but it makes it easier if you guys can just bring it filled out and all ready. Okay, so that way it can kind of give them that communication portion. Which we have one of our photographers here too. Woohoo! She's going to be doing all the cheers. And then we have the 30th is our last game and our end of season ceremony. So again, that's when your girls are going to be doing their dance, and then the end of season ceremony. The time is to be announced still. I haven't decided if it's going to be like after the last game, we bring everyone back and do something kind of in the afternoon, and that's where you can present the end of season gifts. The cheer teams are getting, I think it's this cute little backpack and like picture frame or something is their end of season celebration gift, and the football players are getting a football. And then we'll just do a little ceremony like we did for soccer, if anyone did soccer. And so it might be in the afternoon or it might be that evening. So just be aware on the 30th, and that will be decided here shortly before the season starts, so that we know and can get that information out to you guys and the parents. So I think that's kind of all the admin portion. Do you guys have any questions on any of the links, how things are going to run, things for you? Yeah. Correct. Yep. Yep. If you're 18 or older, I would have tracked you down by now. I would have tracked you down. So, yep. There were some people that already had backgrounds and didn't send any in, and that worked great because I already had them. There were some that had them, but they needed to be updated, so I had to email them and say, hey, shoot me one. I know you already had one, but we had to update it, that sort of thing. So, yep, all my backgrounds have been done. It's just now if I tracked you down and you haven't done your ministry safe, you want to do that. So, any other questions? Nope. Okay. Awesome. I'm going to pass this off to Jackie, who is going to do amazing. Telling you about cheer.
Yeah. Okie dokie. So I'm Jackie Mitchell. I know some of you, but not all of you. And yeah, I'm here to help. And we're just going to go through some of the stuff that Upwards likes us to cover at the very beginning. And then at the end, also, I'll kind of like just walk through the coach cheerbook with you just a little bit, because it literally has everything laid out for you, exactly how to run things, how to do game day, how to do practices, and kind of simplifies the whole process so you guys don't really have to even think at all. So the goal of the cheer ministry here at Calvary is to share Christ with the community through sports. It's pretty simple. This is the way we're going to reach people. And then why does coaching matter? A coach will impact more people in 1 year than the average person will in an entire lifetime. Billy Graham. And that, I know that's like a statement that you've probably heard a ton of times and it's repeated over and over, but I don't know that everybody actually realizes how important your impact is when you're with kiddos. It's super special. You have a lot of influence over them, your attitudes with them, the excitement about them being at practice or learning a new cheer or learning a new skill, the way that they leave practice and they leave the game feeling excited and happy and valuable is really, really important. There we go. Why do we need good coaches? So when youth sports are only concerned with performance, the emphasis ignores the other essential components that are key to a child's development. And many coaches teach the physical side of a sport, but ignore the mental, social, and spiritual elements that help cheerleaders become a better person. And the experience our cheer sports ministry provides strives to address helping develop cheerleaders mentally, athletically, spiritually, and socially. So yes, we want them to be good. We want them to get stronger. We want them to learn skills. But it's more important that we're investing in their hearts and, you know, their just overall development, not just the skills. So there's, you know, a few parts to the mental development of the cheerleaders. So one, confidence. As the cheerleaders learn the confidence grows. It's exciting when they can learn a new cheer and show it off to their family or their friends or even the other cheerleaders on the team. And then decision making, the complexities of a sport train participants to make decisions quickly, so they, get that experience. And then cognitive self-regulation. Cheerleaders learn to self-regulate emotions and gain focus. So the little ones, they're young and they lose their focus pretty quick, but it's cute. But once they're starting to learn these cheers and the order of them, it tends to settle them down just a little bit sometimes. The athletic development of cheerleaders. So only 24% of youth 6 to 17 have at least 60 minutes of physical activity each day. And the benefits of the physical activity include stronger bones and muscles, improved heart and brain health, lowered risk of diabetes and heart disease. And getting kids involved requires fun. It has to be exciting and not boring, and teach motion, movements, and steps. The spiritual development of cheerleaders practice devotions. It just kind of plants the seeds of discovery. The coach-participant relationship, you obviously have a great influence on the players' lives. And then you guys, as the coach and parent relationship, regular conversations with parents about their cheerleaders' development builds trust. Parents love when you brag on their kids. They want to know that they're doing good. They want to know that their child is behaving, and it's exciting to hear good things about your kids. So always remember to find even something to say to the parents to encourage them and let them know that you're noticing their child and how well they're doing. And then social development of cheerleaders. Through being part of a team, the participants learn to interact with others in positive ways. Participants navigate the ups and downs of relationships and the importance of encouragement. They learn to respond to complex situations with other cheerleaders, and learning to be unselfish is a large component of players' social development. So not everybody gets to be the star the entire game, but learning to let other people shine at the same time is a good one for the kids. And then understand who you're coaching. The cheerleaders were developing a person to be successful. For the squad, it's coaching a squad as a collective of individuals. And then for yourself, be prepared each week that you are the salt and light to your team. Make sure you're feeding yourself by being in God's word and in prayer. And just, taking time and realizing there's a lot of importance, more so than just knowing what you're going to teach the girls that week, that investing that time praying over each player. And so going through and understanding what you're coaching, obviously you're teaching athletic skills, conditioning, and the physical development. You are coaching for, in their head, confidence, decision making, and mental strength. For their heart, you're giving them courage, a sense of self, and a sense of purpose. And then also, as the season's going on, if you're noticing maybe at the beginning of the season one of the girls was struggling maybe with shyness or not catching on really quick to a routine, but you notice after 3 or 4 practices they really got that cheer, make a point of cheering them on and saying, I noticed you learned this, or encouraging them that way. They'll feel seen and important, and they'll feel like really a part of the team. And then just having all of them have a really great experience, be organized and ready for practice. Use the tools. So your tools are going to be, on the myupward.org. There's going to be a lot of resources for you to look at, different videos and instructions for cheers, but also the cheer book, which I'll go over in a little bit, is your best tool because it has everything laid out for you. And then set aside 45 to 60 minutes to prepare and pray for the practices. And it may not take you that long, but just knowing you're setting aside a time to really focus on that. And then teach the fundamentals of cheerleading with a progression plan in place. So using the practice plans, it kind of creates a progression so that of what to teach your cheerleaders and when to teach it. Teach how to effectively lead the spectators. So cheerleaders should grow in confidence in leading cheers, and the cheerleaders help fans engage, and this builds the self-esteem of your cheerleaders. And then communicate effectively. Keep parents informed each week with an email or a text. Speak with the cheerleaders on their level. demonstrate and teach routines, and then use positive language and point out where they've made improvements and encourage effort to motivate. The practice huddle or devotion time is very important. If you need help, ask. The devotion time is an important ministry touch point of the league, and allow time for discussion and intentionally listen to your cheerleaders. So we'll go through this practice section. Actually, I'll just do it right now. If you look at your cheer book, it is page 22 is where it starts. And it's going to walk you through, you know, kind of their suggestions for preparing for the practice. And then it gives you the format for the practice. So you're going to start with the welcome and then games. And they have the games even that you're going to use as like little icebreakers for the girls. They have it all in the book. You won't even have to come up with those. And then you'll do your warm-ups and stretching and review the fundamentals, practice devotions, and then any new material or new cheers that you might be doing or learning, and then your post-practice meetings. So if you look on the next page, practice number 1. So it tells you the welcome the game. So you're going to play the name game, and then you're going to warm up and stretch, and then it has for the 2 different age groups the different motions that you're going to cover in that first practice. And yeah, so it literally step by step walks that entire process out for you. It makes that pretty easy. So for each of the practices, they're all like that. So you'll find they have 11 practices for you in the book, and they're all broken down in those sections with everything laid out that you're going to do. And let's see. Yeah, so they have the kind of following that section is where they have the welcome games, the fundamentals, the movements, and then they're going to have motions, and then they even have like the pictures that are going to show you exactly what to do there. And yeah, there's going to be cheers, chants, motions, jumps. We're not going to do any no stunting or anything like that because we don't have the mats or the safety stuff in place. So really the hardest skill is just going to be some of the jumps, and they keep them really simplified for you. So those shouldn't be hard at all. And then actually later, like when I'm done and get through, Kaylee has a couple of tips for what to do when we're teaching the cheers, and a couple of ideas to help share the cheers you've learned that week with the parents to be able to work with their kiddos at home. And okay, yeah, so the resources, your cheer book, and then myupward.org. You'll be able to access all the resources. They have the dance routines, the cheers, the devotion material, videos, music for the cheers, chants, and palm routines. And the myupward.org is the starting point for creating your access to the Upward Coach progressive web app, but they don't have an app anymore. It's just the myupward.org.
Yeah, and it shows you, once you go into it, it'll show you how you can actually make it like an app on your home page, basically, of your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So you just save that link.
Perfect. Awesome. Practice plans, these complete practice plans are customized to the age division that you coach, and the practice plans contain pre-practice huddle topics, warm-up activities, skills, focus, cheers, chants, and dance palm routines, as well as the specific practice devotion. And yeah, you guys, once you've logged in and can access that, you can see all of those things in there. Because
Have you all got logged in? And have you seen
yeah.
some of those things, gone through them, and be able to see the resources?
Perfect. Yeah. So the ministry touch points for the season. So at the midpoint of every practice, you're going to lead a 5 to 7 minute practice devotion. These include an option to use the video as you teach, discuss, and pray each week. And then each week, players will receive a green practice sticker star for their participation in the practice huddle. At designated practices, they may also receive practice cards to help them learn scripture tied to the weekly lesson. And then the league director, which is Amber, will also share the gospel video with your league during the season and should be incorporated into your discussion the following week. So, yeah, maybe, possibly, or... Okay. Okay. And then ministry touch points for this season. Game day stars are multicolored stickers given to the players at the end of each game based upon their efforts. And then just kind of take notes during the game and, yeah, just notice what they're doing and, encourage them in things that they're doing well. And at the back of your coach book, let me find the page for you guys. There is on page 118, the star distribution form. So you'll write each of your cheerleaders' names down, and then you're going to use a pencil to record the color of the star the cheerleaders received each game. And then it has a description for the different colored stars and what they mean. The blue star is for effort, the red is for leadership, the gray is for cheers, the gold is for spirit, and white is for Christ-likeness. And so then just throughout the season for each of the games, you're just going to kind of be keeping track of that and, yeah, putting those stars on there. And you will receive an award star booklet which contains stickers for game day. Cheerleaders will apply the stickers to their cheer posters. And then these are kind of just the important dates to remember. The first practice is going to be the 13th of September. That is in 2 weeks on Monday, and then, or whatever day that week your practices are scheduled for. The last practice will be the 29th of October. The first game is going to be the 25th of September. The last game being the 30th, picture day being the 2nd of October, and then we will also have that season celebration and award ceremony, which Amber kind of went over already. And this is just, I think you guys have pretty much kind of taken care of this, but clicking on the link into the email so you can set up your coach account. And then I think everybody has contacted the parents on your teams. Has anybody not been able to contact anyone? Okay, so, and Amber's really wanting us to have that done by Sunday, the 29th, correct? Like really try, because the parents are excited to see whose team the girls are on and what they're going to be doing. No. I thought that they had already been given like their practice schedule, so they don't know anything. You are the bearer of all the good news. Yes. Yeah. But if you have trouble, like first, they do want you to reach out by phone if you can, just so that you're speaking with them. It's a little bit of a personal touch, and you're greeting and introducing yourself. But if there's anybody that you can't get a hold of, let us know, because we'll just make sure that we have the right contact information for them, so that nobody's left out and everybody knows what's going on. Yeah. And I think, yeah, that's that. And then the only other thing I was going to just show you guys is if you turn another page. So like game day, it has everything for you. So you can be writing down like your warm-ups that you're going to do that day with the girls, any stretches that you're going to do, and then you'll have the cheers. You can keep track of the ones that the girls have learned, and write those down so you know exactly what's going to be happening, and then your ideas. So you can really just map out the entire day pretty easily. They have it really structured for you guys. And I think, yeah, that's kind of like a super broad overview, but did you have any other questions about anything, like having to do with practices or anything like that? Not really. And Kaylee was going to come up just at the end, and like if you guys have specific questions about teaching the cheers or the easiest way to teach cheers or stuff like that, Kaylee's the go-to gal for that. So I'll have her come up, and then if you guys have any specific questions about that, she can answer those.
Does anyone have a question? Okay, if you guys don't, I can just go over like what I has worked best for me at least. I have kind of learned from experience of it going really bad and really good. So I have been doing it for a while, just teaching the kids. What I always start out with, obviously, is warming up, and then after that, I always start off by teaching them the words of the cheer, so that when they start learning the motions, they can keep saying the words over and over and over and over. And we have a lot of kids that normally are like super shy, so they're gonna like be whispering the cheer and the words and everything. You want to make it like super known that this is loud, this is like so everyone can hear you, because normally they're like being told to be quiet. So you have to tell them to be loud, and most of the time you have to be the loudest one of all, because otherwise they'll be too shy to do it. So you do that, and then once they get the words down, then you start just very slowly adding in the motions. Do it over and over. Look at everybody. Try to compliment them as much as you can. Oh, that was great, good job. And then they get all excited that they did it right. And then you move on to like the next motion, and then you go back to the beginning and run through them over and over and over until you get through the whole cheer. Basically the same thing with dances. You just have to do it a million times. But yeah, it's really fun, and just make sure that you're like complimenting them and telling them how great they're doing, and taking lots of breaks, water breaks. And I don't know, are their parents going to be there during the whole thing? Do you know? Okay. So yeah, if they're okay. Okay. So yeah, I guess if the parents are there too, then they'll probably go like say hi to their parents for a second. They'll see how good they're doing. And then at the end of practices, we were just talking, do you Okay.
For the parents to have access to see the cheers that the girls learned during practice, we're going to send a link to the YouTube videos for them
Oh, okay.
to do that.
Awesome. So then they can have stuff to practice at home and everything. And then I Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. So basically, no, it's okay. What it is that she's gonna have the link that you can send out. So you'll work on whatever cheers that you did during the week, and then once you're done with that practice, you'll just send out the link of the cheers that you learned, so that they can practice them at home. And then for the dance, I guess we have how many weeks? 7 weeks, you said, to learn. Okay, so to learn this dance that they're doing at the end. So you don't obviously have to do it every single practice, but it would be good to just kind of start little motions and things. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you don't have to necessarily like be freaking out about it because you have a few weeks, but just to get them introduced to it throughout the weeks would be good. But yeah.
All the cheers that you can work with in your book, starting page 63 to let's see, page 63 to 85, and it'll show you at the top basic level, intermediate level, so you know for the youngers to keep it at the basic, and then it goes from there. But it has each of those cheers and chants. Um,
And there's links to them. So
yes, cheers and chants and everything in here written down too.
awesome.
Yeah. I think that's yeah.
Mhm.
You can choose if you want us to go through and find the ones that we think would be easiest for the youngers to learn. We can help you with that if you need to, or you can just go through and pick them. And then, yeah, you'll just kind of, like if you look at game day, the first game day, it'll show, I think it's like 10 cheers or something. Anyways, however many you want to have picked out for that game. Because we have four quarters that are 9 minutes each and an 8-minute halftime. So even if you only pick 4 or 5
Yeah,
cheers,
that's what I was
you know they can be doing the same cheer a few times throughout that.
I was telling her the other day too, I forgot to say this, is that even like in between times they can do like a super easy, like literally 3 motions, like let's go upward, kind of like super crazy easy that they can just do in like in between stuff. And then you teach them to, just like shake their palms and say, wow, good job. So it's not just like, awkwardly standing there, they don't know what to do kind of thing. So yeah, there can just be like little filler stuff to do in between too. Yeah. Right. Oh, okay. So yeah, whenever you can like see that the kids need like timeouts or like to sit down if there's stuff that's going on, they can just go get water breaks, sit down for a little bit in the games and everything. Okay, yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm looking it'll probably be like within the next 2 days I can probably do it. I'm just gonna look through, pick one of the dances and then or actually a couple dances. And then I right. Yeah, so I'll have a dance. I'll email them to her. She'll send them out to the teams of which dance that your team is doing, and then there's a link to those ones too as well, right? To the dances. Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, the main thing I think with cheer that's different just than dance, I guess, is that they're having to be so tight, like with their moves. Like we're locking our arms, and like as little kids, usually they're like, yeah, like they're just like flinging their arms. So you have to kind of like teach them to have like a stopping motion and really lock their arms and be tight. And I mean, you're gonna have to like say it probably 1,400 times in your in the practices. But yep, we're being tight. We're being tight. We're locking our arms because yeah, especially with like the little ones, they just kind of flail and but which is fine. But yeah, we're definitely focusing on being tight and sharp and moving all together as a team and trying to be all as one in the motions. Which with kids obviously it's different, but that's our goal for sure. So yeah.
I know. Good job, Al. This is great. Yeah, football's been a lot longer than ours.
I'll go ahead and take that. Yeah. Cheer.
Oh yes.
This up there and maybe repeat because that's an important question.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
repeat the question.
Okay. So yeah, her question was like what's the timing of the cheers during the football game? So like if they're in the middle of a game or of a play, like what should she be, calling cheers or whatever? So the only time you would probably do any of the cheers during a play would be if it's like a defense or an offense cheer. Otherwise, you kind of just be rallying, saying good job. Otherwise, like just don't call any cheers until like the downtime, or they're like going and huddling up, and then you do one of the like just generic like go upward or the cute little like fun cheers that you learned. So during the downtime you would do those, and then during the plays you would just do offense or defense, or just yay, good job kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. They also have longer cheers, so for the older kids, if you wanted to teach the longer cheers and do those during the halftime, that would be cool too. We have a good time for it. So that was a good question. I didn't, yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Not wanting to interrupt. Yeah.
So you're going to cheer at the beginning when they run through the tunnel. Then maybe when the teams are getting after prayer and getting started, you could run a cheer before the game starts officially. Once the plays are going, not doing it during the plays. But then when they're, if there's a down and they're moving between, you could do a short few second cheer. Then each football team gets a minute timeout per half, and they don't transfer over, so there'll be like a 1 minute time where you'll be able to do a cheer there. And then again at any break, so when they do substitutes, you're going to have 4 of those times, so you can do cheers during those times. Halftime, if you wanted to do cheers, some of you older coaches that have the older teams can do some of the longer cheers at halftime. You can give the younger kids breaks, leaving that up to you guys to be able to determine. And then at the end of the game, just do an end of game cheer too. So just kind of break it up in there of what's best for your teams. Okay. Anything else? What else do you guys think of? Nothing? And as we go through, if you're noticing things in practice or games, and bring it to our attention. Like if you have positive feedback, if you have like, hey, what about this? What if we do this? Because this is our first year doing it, so I love all that feedback. I want to help you guys work through it. It gives us pointers to make things better as we move forward, things like that. So definitely give that feedback to us. Okay. Anything else? All right. Thank you all for being here. Yeah.